Hi, everyone. Welcome to Grazitti Interactive's first event of the year, Marketing Refocus 2021. I'm delighted to let you know that we have exciting keynotes, panel discussions, Q&As, and many networking opportunities lined up for you today. Starting with a welcome note by our CEO, Alok Ramsisaria. He has over 25 years of marketing, building, and consulting experience for the largest online marketing companies and the most complex software products. He's a chief participant at Grazitti and provides mentoring and marketing momentum to Team Grazitti. So here's the captain of our ship speaking on marketing life, the past, present, and future.
Thank you, Akanksha, and welcome, folks, to our first virtual event of the year. It is my particular pleasure to welcome you all to Marketing Refocus, see how we can set the context for the day today. Today marks a very important milestone. 11th March 2020 was when the World Health Organization first declared the coronavirus to be a global pandemic. And 1 year later, we stand on the threshold of hope that most likely in a quarter or so, we would finally be all vaccinated and can look forward to a post-COVID era. So when we started this company back in 2008, which was probably the right when the digital age was taking off, we used to look at the past as physical, the present as hybrid, and the future as digital. We were created based on insights from the Clue Train Manifesto about the world becoming a much more social online space, and Gartner's prediction that the CMO would spend more on technology than the CIO by 2010. We started our journey trying to become digital natives. My son is a perfect example of somebody who grew up playing Pac-Man before he learned to speak. Folks like me and like some of us were classified as immigrants, baby boomers, Gen Xers, Gen Y, and Gen Z and Millenials are natives who can, as the cartoon on the right said, build websites, do amazing stuff online, which parents would only marvel at. The world was moving online, and rapidly, we were growing 50% year on year. Almost last year at this time, we were about 600 people. And then came the virus, and everything changed. For a few very tense weeks, days, we thought the world had come to a stop. I remember emptying out my office when a shutdown was declared and moving my monitor, my papers and everything home, not knowing when we would be back in our offices. Like everyone else, most offices emptied out. Both, mom, dad, son, baby, heck, even the cat got used to working from home. Things evolved. We learned to deal, human beings being as adaptable as they are creatures who can adapt to the most extreme of circumstances. And we adapted very well. So much so, as Nadella put it, that we got 2 years worth of digital transformation done in 2 months. 1 year later, we've probably gotten 6, if not 10 years of digital transformation in how we work, how we play, and how the world moves on in the face of such daunting odds. So much so that marketing as we know it has changed. And it would not be unfair to think about marketing as the pre-COVID, the COVID, which is where we are, and the post-COVID eras. The interesting thing is that the COVID era also coincided with what folks were calling the post-truth. And the post-COVID era coincides with another post-T that has dominated our mind space especially if you're politically inclined. And suffered we have. The statistics from lots of leading researchers show that almost 73% advertisers held back their campaigns. The good part is that over 70% of us have moved their interactions either partially or fully to virtual platforms like Bevy, where we are today. More social media time, we expect to create way more content on social media, and most of us are adapting very well to the new world in COVID. So let's look at some of the things that have changed. One of the biggest areas of marketing effort used to be events. Hey, we used to sponsor over 10 events. We loved attending conferences, especially since we were largely offshore. Our people were afforded the opportunity to meet our customers and prospects in geographies that they were not really very familiar with. Over 20% of our company was traveling to attend conferences. We were sponsoring over 10 trade shows and conferences, traveling to meet customers across the globe. I had my bags packed. I was probably traveling every month, or if not every other month. And we would enjoy and learn and create relationships and friendships at these events across the globe. Suddenly, it all stopped. Now we make relationships on Zoom and Bevy and other online platforms. We watch conferences which were pre-recorded. We attend trade shows in virtual trade show software like this one. We talk to our friends on intranets and online communities more than anything else. What will the future portend? I think events will come back, albeit in a hybrid mode. I attended my first in-person event yesterday. This was let me put it correctly. It was a physical kickoff event for a virtual conference that we've been hosting every year for one of the nonprofits that I have been associated with. Just the sheer joy of meeting people in person for the first time after more than a year was so thrilling that leads me to believe that all conferences, the convenience of virtual versus the joy of physical, will mean that most events will now happen in a hybrid manner, affording us the ability to participate in many more such events. Budgets have changed. Earlier, you defined buyer journeys, aligned your budget, washed out, made course corrections based on documented or undocumented priorities, and made sure you measured your ROI very carefully. Now, the CMO survey, COVID edition, found that lots of marketeers have lost budgets. 30% sort of said no change, but wonder of wonders, 41% said their budget had increased. And priorities show that most marketeers are transforming themselves, trying out new marketing technologies, new features. 45% have moved either partially or fully to virtual platforms. And they were looking at new transaction fulfillment capabilities. I don't know how many of you order on DoorDash or Instacart, but my kids forever are now studying and working and using DoorDash as their local kitchen helper. While things have changed incrementally and monumentally, I think something more fundamental has happened to marketing. To understand that, let's look back at the definition of marketing as per the American Marketing Association. Marketing is the activity set of institutions, processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. For the longest time, the head that wagged the dog, if you will, used to be sales. Nobody is in field sales anymore, unless you're selling defense equipment. All field sales is now inside sales. All inside sales is now looking at what was the visitor count, who visited, when did they visit your website, not your trade show booth, making marketeers out of everybody who was in sales. In fact, I would go and look at some of the interesting changes that have happened. Who could have thought that an algorithm could shut down the president of the US? Or that most of your workers, I know that's true for our office, that large number of our people were either on the beach or in the mountains. Heck, a niece of mine, who's a lawyer, was staying in a place where she had to trek for 14 miles and stay there. And whenever she had to attend to a virtual court case, she would trek up 10 minutes to the peak where she would get a good cell signal and do her arguments on a virtual platform. And where we look forward to interacting, we want to build virtual water coolers. So all of our interactions have become digital. Everybody worries about how many people opened their emails, how many people responded to their emails, how many people watched their tweets, how many people liked their Facebook posts, or if you are inside a company, how many people actually read your mail, read your posts, responded to them. So everybody is now looking at what were earlier only marketing metrics. And I would say that we are entering really the golden era of marketing, where everyone was in sales earlier, as per the popular adage. Post-COVID, we are all in marketing. With that, I welcome you once again. We have an amazing lineup of speakers today, from experts in industry, chief marketing officers of community platforms and real-time new virtual trade show technologies, plant-based meat providers, friends, customers, people that I'm very proud to and privileged to have been associated with in this transformation to the post-COVID world. Welcome once again. I look forward to learning from all of you and look forward to interacting with all of you. Back to you, Akanksha. Thank you.